Hello, hello! Today we are working with all the Liquid Star eyeshadows from the Star Wedding Jeffree Star makeup collection. I was able to get my hands on the entire Liquid Star shadow collection, even though some shades were out of stock for a while and they were finally back in stock, so I wanted to complete my collection. I think the first shade I ever got was Toss My Bouquet. It was either Toss My Bouquet or Nude Honeymoon. It was one of these matte liquid ones that I got first. I think it might have been this one, but I started off with those, and I initially got it in a mystery box. And when I got my first matte Liquid Star shadow, I was so blown away by how easy it was to use, because it was the second Jeffree Star liquid eyeshadow that I had gotten, and I wasn't expecting these to be so blendable, to be so, I guess, like newbie user-friendly, because I had never used a liquid eyeshadow until I had gotten the Jeffree Star Liquid Star shadows in the mystery boxes, and I ended up using them, of course, and I was so surprised to find out how much I loved them. So I ended up later on getting the whole collection. So we have the whole collection here, which I'll be swatching and talking about each individual one. Once again, like the Juvia's Place review that I did, I have put them in order of least favorite to most favorite, but also keeping in mind how these applied and worked, not just like my favorite colors, but the actual application of what I think is least to most worth your buck, okay? So the first one I want to start with is this Star Wedding shade. This one is called Star Wedding. It is just a completely white matte liquid star shadow. And this packaging is really pretty. It's really bright, just completely all just covered in all this very silvery tone, right? Complete match of the palette. And this one is the Liquid Star shadow that has the silver top. It's very simple. I don't think there's anything, there's no really particular special logo on this one. It's just the star logo. But this is the white one. This one was my least favorite. In terms of application, I mean, I don't know. I guess it was okay. I should grab a brush and maybe see if we can blend some of these out. But I mean, it's very opaque at first application, right? Let's go, I'm gonna go grab a brush. Alright, so I've grabbed a Glamlight brush, and I'm just gonna, let's do the bottom. It does take a while for it to dry down, which is good because it's supposed to go on your eye, and it gives you enough time to move it around. So you don't have to worry about, you know, applying it and be like, okay, I have to blend this out really fast because it's gonna dry down on me. Like, you don't have to worry about that. You could definitely move it around for a while before it starts to completely dry down. So you can see here, I've blended out this shade. It is very pretty. I think you can see on my eye, I think it really kind of laid into the creases. Didn't look the best on me, but either way, when I applied this, it wasn't as opaque as you see here on my hand. I felt like, I don't know, as a consumer, which if I remind everyone, of course, obviously, I am not an MUA. I am not a beauty guru. This is not my job. I'm just a consumer who likes to buy makeup. And I don't see the point of this shade. You could use this maybe if you are more into like alternative makeup, costume makeup, very heavy makeup for Halloween. I could see it. But if you need a light shade, I don't understand why you wouldn't just buy something cheaper. That would be a white foundation, a white concealer, which are all already out there and available, and it pretty much works exactly the same. That's just what I feel. So personally for me, I'm giving this one away because I can't see myself using this. If I need a white base or a very light base, I'll just go use one of my concealers. And I have white eyeshadows, so I'll just use a white eyeshadow. I think this is really good probably for an actual MUA, which I am not, but I'm going to pass this on to my MUA cousin because she could probably use this for the events and the customers that she gets. But personally, for my use, like maybe if I was doing more goth or alternative looking styles, I could get more use out of this white. It's nice that it exists, like a lot of more out there crazy shades that Jeffree has, but I personally don't need this shade. So this one's going to be a pass on for me. And this is a shade you may think you may have needed, but you don't. You don't need this shade. The third one that I have here is Bachelor Party or Bachelorette Party. This is, let's see, let me look at these other ones. This is probably, I would say, the medium the medium sparkle shade in here, because there's a light shade, a darker medium. Oh, this is the darker one. So like, if you can see in there, this is the darker sparkly shade, this is the lighter sparkly shade, and then there's a white sparkly shade. So this is the darkest, and I didn't really, I don't want to say I didn't like it, I just wasn't impressed by it. So it's just because it is pretty, and formula wise, I wouldn't say there was much of an issue with any of them. It has, this one's a little bit more stronger smelling. It's pretty. It's pretty. It's there. This is another shade where it's really bright all of a sudden. Where I think I would have to give this one away, because I look at this and I'm just like, okay, but I already have this shade in a palette. Do I need it in a liquid star, in a liquid star shadow kind of formula? Like, I personally don't think so. Again, I think this is really great for an MUA. I think if maybe you're a person who doesn't have a lot of makeup and just want like a couple of neutral shades, these might be good. I think they were all pretty easy to apply. For this one in particular, I just remember being just underwhelmed, because I was looking at this shade and I'm like, I'm sure I have this in a Morphe palette, I'm sure I have this in an Alter Ego palette, I'm sure I have this in a Natasha Denona palette. Like, this color itself isn't that spectacular, it's not very unique. This is a shade that I think is quite common, and again, it's nice to have it in this formula so it's available to you, but maybe only as an MUA, I don't know. I think these all have really nice longevity, and I don't really want to touch it because it takes a little longer to set, but it's just a very kind of standard color, and I don't think I need this color. So again, this is one of the shades I'm going to give to my cousin, because I think time-wise, I think these all last a really nice good amount of time. I'm not a fan of the color in this, because I know I don't see myself reaching for this, because I know I have this shade in a palette, and I would rather just grab the entire palette than to try and look for this shade and pull it out specifically. Do you know what I mean? So this is another one that we're passing on. Both of these shades are my least favorite ones that appeared in this, but let's move on. So the next one I have here is Favorite Frosting. Favorite Frosting. Ooh, Favorite Frosting. Was it you? Okay, so Favorite Frosting, I applied it once and it looked very sheer. So this is the lighter version of this sparkly. So there's like 3 mattes and 3 sparkly ones. I quite liked the color. I think the color, because it's lighter, it looked a lot more metallic-y and sparkly and yummy. And I was like, ooh, it looks a lot more wet because it's lighter. But what I didn't like about this one was, so I applied it and I was like, ooh, that looks nice. I should apply some more. And maybe I applied too much. I don't know. But I applied a second layer and it started to like flake, and the layer looked really thick, and my eyelids looked so like crepey and like a dry desert. And it's not like my eyes were dry, but I guess this shade worked better. Less is more, I guess, for this shade. So I do like it. It's very pretty. I like the silver sheen. So I'm going to keep this one, but be wary that it could crumple up on me. And I was really surprised that it even did that in the first place, that it started to kind of flake off. So I think this would be pretty in the inner corner, but what I did with the shade was actually apply it all over my eyelid and just do a dark brown eyeshadow outer corner. And also, by the way, these were pretty much almost all applied, minus the matte eyeshadows, I think. For 2 of them, they all came with the usual concealer base that I do with all my makeup looks. But if it was like this white one, I just ended up using this one for my base. But for everything else, I continued using a concealer base like I always do. So I think this shade, perfect for an inner corner. I don't think I would put this all over my eyelid though again. So that's why this one's in the middle, because I do like the color. I like how shiny it is. It definitely is giving wedding. But the application once on my eye was a little weird. I wasn't expecting it to flake off. Alright, now in third place we have Behind the Veil. This is one of the shades that constantly sells out. This one was sold out for the longest time. I was really happy when they brought it back, and I'm glad that they're seeing that this collection is really popular, because this is definitely one of the collections that we see sell out a lot. So you can see, hopefully, in the camera, it's the brightest white with like the Tinkerbell sparkle. It is so crazy blinding, and This is my favorite sparkly shade, just because it's a little bit more unique. I just love how wet it looks. I love the kind of green iridescent hue to it. That's what I really liked. When I'm looking at my hand with all these together, you can definitely see how almost transparent behind the veil is compared to favorite frosting. So this one's almost more metallic, and this one's just like a more transparent shimmer. I don't know if you can see like the folds and the lines in my hand. You can see there, it's not completely, it's more of a topper. But I do like that green sheen because I love a green. So that's why this one is third. But I believe, from what I remember, this one acted similarly to this one. It kind of ended up peeling a bit off my eye. Each of these shimmers kind of had an issue with themselves overall. Because even this, after a while, it started to, this one specifically started to fold up in my eyes. And then these two started to flake off. So they weren't, the sparkly ones in this weren't all my favorite, unfortunately. And I'm actually surprised to say that my top two are actually mattes. So this is my second. This is, let's see, this is more on the pinkish tone. So this is My Bouquet. This is Toss My Bouquet. It is one of the liquid eyeshadows that is just a matte. And I really liked this one. I think it looked really pretty. It was a nice base. I didn't have any issue with it. And if you're looking for a neutral matte liquid eyeshadow, I think this is one of them. I actually, like, I wish there was a liquid lipstick, and I'm sure there is if I look through all my liquid lipsticks, but I would love to have this color as a liquid lipstick. I think it's so pretty. I think this shade is so pretty. I really liked it. Again, with these top two, I honestly don't think I had any issues with them. They're very blendable. You can work with them. Let's do it over here. Let's move it over a bit more to my left. I think these are so pretty and easy to work with. And this would be such an easy eye. Like, imagine if you just got the matte liquid lipstick. I'm sorry, the liquid eyeshadow. If you got this matte liquid eyeshadow, all you would have to do is apply your liquid eyeshadow, blend it out as much as you want, and then just apply a shimmer over it. Done. You are done. That is a look. That's a makeup look there, mama. This is so pretty. I love these mattes. They are so nice. I didn't have... These are some top tier mattes. I'm sorry. That's why I'm keeping these two. These for sure. I think they're so pretty. And like you saw there, you can use a brush. So this is my number one. This is Nude Honeymoon. Nib. I mean, I'd have to look back at my mystery box. Maybe it was this one. And I'm going to give this one a shake because... this one must have been the one in the mystery box, because girl, that looks dry as hell. My other ones don't have this, so it must have been this one, because they need to get rid of some shades. But this one, even though it's drying at the bottom, which I don't think I've shown you the applicator, it's just a very simple applicator. And we're gonna go over here, and this one is more brown than Toss My Bouquet. And I don't know, I just like the shade the most. It's just a very neutral brown to me. And I don't know, I think it just worked the best for my skin tone. And of course, same thing. I mean, let's blend it out over here. I have some product from the last one, but it's no issues with these top two. I love them. If there was anything I was going to recommend, it would be these top two. It would be Toss My Bouquet and Nude Honeymoon. These are both ones I absolutely love. And this is definitely, these top two feel like you don't have to be an MUA for these. They're really easy to use, and I think they're really a good product for someone who maybe doesn't do a lot of makeup. Because you could just do, like I said, neutral matte, liquid star shadow, put a little bit of sparkle on top, put your liner on, and you're good to go. There's not really anything else that you need to do. I think these are long lasting. These two shades would definitely be great and amazing for a wedding. I think they're meant to be quite long lasting. These star shades, I would be a little bit more hesitant wearing these. Although they are pretty, I think it might be best to use the sparkly ones as an inner corner. It gives you a lot of time to move with them. I mean, these still haven't even dried down you know, it'll take a while. It's almost like it's a liquid, but it's almost like a cream. It eventually will dry all the way and it will stay, but it does take a while. The things that are nice about these is that these will pretty much can be removed with water. You can remove it with a makeup removing balm, but I would try with water first and then the makeup balm, because you can definitely get these off with water if you need to. And thank you so much for watching this little swatch party of all the shades of the Liquid Star shadows. Like I've mentioned before so many times throughout this video, these are definitely my top two. These are the two I think everyone could use. Be weary of the shiny, sparkly Liquid Star shadows in this specific collection. And then the Star Wedding, unless you really need it, don't feel like you're missing out if you don't get this white. Use a concealer. Use a white eyeshadow. This Star Wedding white one definitely isn't one you exceptionally need. But yeah, y'all have a great day. I hope you like this little swatch party.